Hey, good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. Great. Let's wait for other people to join and everybody switch on your cameras. We can get going. I actually had a chance to check in with Josh. What the students might had told him they would most benefit by. And he said one of the things that would actually greatly help you guys is if we took the program from before, but essentially walked through it line by line so that everybody understands exactly what each line does. And I think that we just take a lot of things for granted here. Well, maybe not just me. Okay, I think a lot of professors take these things for granted, but they're probably not maybe a lot more lenient than I am, because what I take for granted is that between the last class and this class you would have played about a bit, like a few hours. If you had, I think this will all be pretty straightforward. But you hadn't, then we still have the slack and the luxury in this class of doing this class and to redo the code, because we can still do arrays and vectors and everything until today. And next week we can start talking about functions, which is really week 5 is usually when I talk about functions. I can't seem to move that much. So we have all of today. And here's the other thing too. Hey, everybody, latecomers, also switch on your cameras, okay? Here's the other thing. You know what? If you need extra classes, you just have to let me know. Because I'm kind of retiring at the end of next year, and I have all the time to basically just keep teaching. And so just let me know. Even if it's one person, but with a topic in mind and willing to live code. Okay, well, basically one of the persons has to live code. So if there's only one person, that person has to live code, and I'll be happy to give a class anytime. Okay, anytime that is not a regular class. And I don't have these other meetings and all, but I'm usually flexible in being able to rearrange my schedule. So anytime that works for you guys, I'm happy to give you a class. So we can go over any of the concepts that we've done before one more time. Maybe pick a different problem, a different game, using the same kind of skills, and live code another thing, or take one of the games that we've already done and do something cool with it. Okay, or do something along the lines of what Richard suggested. Turn it into a server. All of these, there are lots of fun things we can do. They are obviously not extra credit, right? But there'll be extra classes. I'm happy to give you all these classes. It's kind of fun for me too. Yeah. So might as well enjoy it here. So that is where we're going going with today. We're going to take the code from Tuesday, which is essentially, I'm going to describe it and everybody tell me with a thumbs up or something if you're all in agreement. Okay. We're going to one of you maybe Jan, or well, Ethan already coded. Okay. Well, how come a lot of people are missing today? I don't know. I look at you, all of you have had a chance to live code, except Brandon is probably has got the longest, not live coded for, the longest, yes, of all the people I see. Maybe Manya.
Yeah, I can go ahead and do it today.
Yeah, okay. All right. So, but usually you're the person, you're one of the people talking the person through the code. So well, how about, be on standby, Brandon, okay? Okay, great. So if someone else wants to live code today, that is absolutely fantastic. Okay. And so go ahead, grab the screen. So here's my plan. We're going to do exactly the same thing from before. Essentially, this entire game, except that, there was a slight bug, in terms of, some carriage return, some formatting issue. We'll fix that. Okay, we'll fix that. And then I had an idea. And I've forgotten what it was. But while you guys bring this game up, I'll think about it, okay? I'm pretty sure that would be a nice extension of a very small extension, but you'll get a fantastic practice of bringing it all the way through. Now, after whoever it is has gotten, well, what time is it now? 6:06, okay? So whoever happens to live code has got it to a stage where it works. we will go over it line by line. Okay, maybe it's going to be obvious for a lot of people. Okay, so so the people who feel comfortable, you can just say, okay, I'm just going to watch it. But I'm pretty sure there will be a few people who will appreciate a line by line explanation, even though it may be painful for a few people. Okay, if it is, you should let me know, and then we'll kind of adjust or kind of spice things up a little bit so that it remains attractive all the way through. Okay, does that sound like a good plan? Yeah. Okay, so essentially all the way from scratch, from a blank window, online GDB. Don't click on the link that, who was the person? Francis. Yeah, Francis shared a link, okay? Don't click on the link. It's like the fallback, utter fallback. But you know in your mind what we have to do. So you're gonna just open up a blank online GDB window and code it up. Delete everything and then code it up from scratch. How about it's about 6:08. Maybe you're done by 6:15. Yeah, probably. Yeah, max by 6:20. It doesn't matter even if it's longer. So that's the thing. Okay, it doesn't matter if it's longer. Actually, Salami was here last class. Salami was actually coding a good part of this, right? He was coding the initial part. Salami, are you? There is Salami. You are here. Switch on your camera, okay? And Jin also switch on your camera. Okay, so yeah, so we have people who've done this, so they will be able to look at their own code maybe and kind of guide you. Whoever it is that codes today should have strong backup, strong backup behind you, right? And obviously I'm there and Caitlin's there and Josh is always there too, right? And again, at the end of class, if you'd like to, because I can leave the meeting and hand over to Josh, and every class he can basically be the person who, takes over the host thing from me and then ends the meeting, right? That way you'll have a chance to talk to Josh and say, hey, can we see this thing change in the class? All right, and then I can have a chat with Josh, right? Because he has a feel for both sides, I think now, right? He's also in the tutoring side, and then he's the student side because he's with you guys and so on and so forth. I think that would be a great idea. Hey, Josh, is that okay with you? Every time you're here, I'll just leave the meeting a little earlier and hand over the host thing to you. Yeah, and you can just chat with the students and find out if there's anything that they'd like emphasized or de-emphasized the next class.
Okay, that's cool. I'm just a bit sick this week, so maybe not now.
All right, no, not today, right? But not just yesterday. What I mean was more times than just the previous class. Whenever Josh is feeling up to it, we'll basically say we're going to end the class 5 minutes early. Is that okay with you guys? Yeah. Okay. All right. So how about today? Who was going to code? The next person, Ian, actually might be a very good candidate to code. He's not coded for a long time, and he also had some questions on the Reddit, and it will be a good opportunity. Hey, Ian, are you here?
Yes, Professor, I'm here.
Yeah. Switch on your camera, and if possible, I would like you to share your screen and actually live code today. And there are lots of people who are going to walk you through. I think you missed last class, right? So what we'll do is basically walk you through the code. You won't be able to do, obviously, right? You're going to be typing in whatever people say. Yeah, fantastic. Okay. So great. Okay. So that's it. So I'll just do the comment at the very top. Okay. And then I'm just going to hand over to you guys. And about for 10 or 15 minutes, I'll just disappear from you, from in front of your, faces. And then you can take away with the coding. Okay. All right, great. Ian, whenever you're ready, take over the screen. Yeah, fantastic. All right. Great. Delete everything and go to the comments at the top and say, start the comment and say class code for today's date. We are going to repeat the code from Tuesday, which is to code a game that will read a bunch of questions and answers from a file called questions.txt. Right? Yeah, we are going to recode again. Yeah, funny thing is, actually a very playable game, wasn't it? It was actually fun, not reasonably playable. If you had a decent chunk of questions, like 100 questions, even though you know the answers to these questions, it's actually a good playable game with your friends even on an iPad or something like that. Yeah, and the funny thing about this is that it took less than 100 lines of code. Isn't that right? Yeah, less than 100 lines of code. You actually have a working program that you can run on online GDB, even online GDB. Essentially, you have a link, you can play it on your iPad even. Okay, so it doesn't have fancy graphics and all, but it has that thing to it. Yeah. So it's kind of cool that you're able to do this, right? And that means you can you test it out, right? You write a program and test it out with your friends, your family over dinner, and say, hey, you know what? Let's all do this. You know, five minutes, and it's great fun. Okay, so we are going to recode the game from last class. Oh, let's give it a name, okay? Your guess is best. All right, YGib, okay? We'll call it, we are going to call, yeah, we're going to recode the game from last class, okay? Yeah, right? And the name of the game is Your Guess is Best, okay? And the name of the game is your, on the next line, you can say the name of the game is Your Guess is Best. Yeah, you can go to the next line, actually. The name of the game is, oh, I see, okay. Dash. You can put a dash there. After class, you can put a dash. Oh, okay, all right. Oh, on the next line, you're gonna say, we'll read a bunch of questions and numerical answers. Okay, integers. Okay, I think last class someone was playing around with doubles and I think so, right? Because I saw the number 12.75 somewhere in the video when you guys were playing around with the code. So yeah, integers, put integers. We'll need a bunch of I see. We'll read a bunch of questions and numerical answers, integers. Yeah, from a file called questions.txt. Hey, Brandon, hope you're not going to go away. Okay, so you just said hello. This is flashing away on my screen. All right. Hey, Brandon, are you here? Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
All right, great, thanks. Okay, then it will print a random question. Yeah, oh, I'm sorry. Then it will print a random question. Was it stuck or something? Yeah, I think there was a freeze because I think even the cursor wasn't blinking. Maybe random question. Random question. Okay. And ask each of the users and ask each of 4 players to guess the answer, and ask each of 4 players ask ask each of 4. It was 4. Okay, I think we'll just keep it at 4. Doesn't matter, because you can, because it's vector, you can grow the size and all, but doesn't matter, just keep it at 4. It's more fun. I don't know. All right. 4 players to guess the answers. All right, so then on the next line, the winner is the player with the closest guess. Okay, all right, then you announce the winner and exit the game. All right, and then you say hooray, winner is, and so on and so on. Okay, oh yeah, we got to get the names of the players. Yeah, right. So so what do we do? From a file called question.txt. Yeah, put up, enter right there where you have the no, after I'm sorry, after a random question. Okay, after, yeah, there you go. Put a enter there, and you're gonna say print a random question. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Ian. It was the right way. You had it the right way. It should be above. Yeah. Right. So question. It'll read it. Okay. All right. Now it will read in the names of 4 players. Okay. It will read in the names of 4 players. Of players 1 to 4. Whatever. 4 players, 1 by 1. Okay. All right. Okay. Now then it will read in. Oh, I see. Okay. Then it will print a random question and ask each of the 4 players to guess the answers. Yeah, okay. I think that's it, okay? That's it. So I don't have to dictate anymore because that is the whole thing. I think that's all we did. Did we do anything more or less than this? Can someone just correct me if I'm wrong? No? Okay, all right. So this entire program is less than, I don't know, 50 lines even, because when someone coded it, I looked at the screen and I think it was like this, right? And I think Richard also at that point said, you know what, why don't we use braces on the next line and so on and so forth? And I said, we don't want to waste vertical real estate. And I was looking at the screen at that time. And I think in my mind, it's about 50 lines and most of the program was right there. So we're talking about an entire fun, playable program that is 60 lines or so, 60 or 70 lines. I think, I will know anyway, but at the end of the day, today, if my guess is right, Obviously, you'll have to create this other file too, questions.txt, right? And in there, you'll have, these things. You can copy and paste that from the assignments or even from the link. That's fine. Okay, that's all. Now, can I leave this in your hands? Is that okay? Now, when Ian is working through the code, please follow along and do your own code. But if you're absolutely confident with the code and you've done it before, feel free to construct that questions.txt file. Do it in a notepad or something else in your own editor. Refer to the questions that we had before, whatever it is. Build up a list of maybe 50 or 100 questions, if possible, or at least, more than 15, 20 questions. So the game is interesting. And then have that ready so that when Ian's program is done, he can create a file called questions.txt and just copy and paste whatever you do in the chat, through the chat or something like that. Is that okay? Yeah. So I'm thinking that one of you could perhaps, put together this question bank, question bank. Is that okay? Is that all doable? Is that completely doable in 15 minutes? Yeah. It's really cool, isn't it? You're actually putting together an end-to-end game that is playable by a random person online. You can actually turn that into JavaScript easily, a drop of a hat, really. But getting the logic together is crucial. And you're able to do that in 15 minutes or, less than 15 minutes on screen in less than about 100 lines. Okay. And it is really fun. So, in fact, I would actually play games with this. If for example, we got to the end of the class and there was no more material to teach for that thing, and we had 30 minutes left, pick a random game. This is actually a good enough game to keep the class occupied and have interesting things in there to talk about probability distributions and all, if we want to go off on a tangent like that. All right, great. Thank you all very much. I'm just going to turn the laptop around unless I'm called or 10 or 15 minutes have passed, or I sense total silence, nobody's talking. Okay, then I won't come back in front of the screen. Okay, so I'm just going to turn the laptop around until then. Is that okay with you guys? Just give me a thumbs up so that I can go into listening mode for a while as you guys basically take over, because I just want to hear more and more of you code. Okay, now even if Ian is just typing because he wasn't here last class, I think my opinion, even if you're just a conduit for saying, well, let's say Manya wants to dictate the code and, have that experience. So she'll dictate the code and Ian will type. And even though I think he is not consciously aware, I'm pretty sure, right? And tell me if I'm wrong. If he goes later on to try to understand those concepts, he'll find it a whole lot easier, I think, right? Because part of the challenge that we find as learners is that, any new material, the first thing we're confounded by is the language. Because the concepts and all these things doesn't matter whether it's in Mandarin or Swahili or English. Same concept. It's just the language. Okay, the language throws us off because it's completely new. But but once that that's not that is actually the easy part. Once going past that is right. Then we say, well, what, it's actually easy. We just have to sit through with it, and you can budget time for these things. Anyway, I don't want to digress and take up much more of your time. So please take this opportunity just even to be a conduit. Ian, thank you so much. Okay, I'm very happy that you volunteered. And at the end of today, we won't move on to a new thing until everybody's totally comfortable with this code. So we'll go over every little piece today. And you can stick around as long as it takes, really, right? And say, hey, what is this int after vector? Right? Or what is a vector? What is vector made of internally? What is the pushback on a vector? And all these things, right? You can ask questions and one of us, I will explain. Okay, even if it's too late that Josh and Caitlin have to take off, I'll stick around and help you guys. Okay, is that okay with you guys? Yeah. Okay. Right. I'm not seeing any thumbs up and all. Are you guys ready to go and code? All right. All right. Arav got a he's got a thumbs up. Okay. Okay, Mark. All right. Well, a couple of people. Ian is going to type. And then Jan, you're here. Ethan. Yeah. Jan and Ethan, are you guys here? Manya, you good too?
Yes, Professor, I'm here.
Okay, all right, okay. All right. Hey, Matthias, are you, you're smiling. Are you in a different conversation somewhere else, playing game or something?
I'm just working on the pet stuff.
No, don't do that during class, okay? All right, so yeah, I'm not just you, and I've mentioned this in a previous lecture too. See, some students in the past have said, well, I've got 4 hours of CS2A time this week because they're enrolled in a lot of units or whatever it is, or they've got a plan. And I said 2 of those hours are lectures. But something is taking up more time that'll actually spill into lecture, and well, I'm going to do it. Give up on the lecture. Please don't give up on the lecture. I think the lecture is a whole lot more important. I think, maybe because it's taking my personal time, whole lot more important than the quests are super duper important, obviously, right? Because you got to get through them somehow. But I think the lecture is a whole lot more important. So please don't give up the lecture, because the quests you can do them anytime. Yes, you can do them on your own time. It's free. But a lecture is what you paid the money for at Foothill. Yes. So please don't work on quests during the class. No professor should let their students work on assignments during class. I think, I don't know, because we lose a wonderful opportunity to teach new stuff. Because then we have this good partition between, well, this stuff will cover in the assignments, this stuff will cover in, face-to-face, so that between the two, we've covered everything. But then students redistribute these things, we get totally messed up, and we don't cover everything that's necessary for a student to master the material at the end of the week. Right? Okay. All right. Fantastic. I'm going to turn the laptop around. Just call out to me, okay? If you need, yeah. But I'm pretty confident that you guys will have a great time. Okay. Hey, Matthias, you should also pay attention now. Okay. Forget about pet for now. You can do the pet thing later on. You got a lot of time for that. It's question number 6. So don't fret about that for now. And Ian, you should do the Zara thing, okay? Which is basically, if there's silence and nobody is, and there's no movement on your screen, you should say, hey guys, what do I do now? Okay, so the airwaves are occupied. Is that okay, Ian?
Yeah. All right, guys. You guys know what I'm supposed to do here?
Yeah, I can go ahead and start off. I guess we can go ahead and put the hashtag include space iOS stream. And then we'll do another one for F stream. Oh, sorry, like the letter F as in like Barry. Yep. And then we'll do another one for vector. And then one more for so this one's going to be spelled uni as in like a university, and then std.h. And from there you can go ahead and put a using namespace std. Okay. And then from there, if you want to create the int main.
I think we need a semicolon after SVD.
Yeah, I guess while we're at it, maybe put a empty line between 12 and 13. And then one on 14, 15. Curly brackets at the end of the mains line. Then we'll go ahead, put the closing one, and then inside of it, go ahead and press enter. We'll start by making, I guess, like the random number generator. So srand, and then parentheses, time, like the word time, and then another parentheses, and then 0 inside of that. Perfect. And then semicolon at the end. Fine. And then we'll do int random equals rand parentheses. Outside the parentheses, go ahead and put a space, percentage sign space, and then 1000 space plus space. Oh, sorry, 1000 after the percentage. And then +1. Semicolon, and then uline. We'll do int, another int again, for, you can put num players, NUM, and then capital P players. Equals, and then 4. That'll be it, and then we'll create the vectors from here. So go ahead and do a new line. We're going to create 2 vectors, one for storing the player names and then one for storing their guesses. So go ahead and type vector. And then caret brackets, or pretty much, yeah, sorry, not those ones, like a greater than, less than. Fine. Sorry, only one greater than and then one less than, and then within that, go ahead and put string. Pretty much just telling the vector that we're going to be holding strings in there. And then space. So this will be for the player name, so you can do player and then capital N for names. Sorry, lowercase player, and then pretty much camel casing the name. Go ahead and erase it back to the R. And then player names, so it's all one word. Sorry. Yep, perfect. And then at the end of that, go ahead, put parentheses, and then we're going to store those num players in there. So just go ahead and type in num players.
Sorry, what?
I'm sorry.
No, I was just asking if you could repeat what you said. I didn't hear.
Oh, yeah. So inside the parentheses, just type num players. Yeah. And then that'll be the end of that line. And then from there, go ahead, create another vector. And then we'll do the same thing, but instead of string, we'll do integers. So int. And then space, and then player guesses this time. Perfect. Go ahead, put parentheses, and then inside of that, num players as well. Both of those lines are also going to need semicolons as well. And then new line, we'll go ahead and create the string for calling in the questions text file that we'll create later. So yeah, string space data file, where file has a capital F. And then equals, and then in quotation marks, go ahead and type in questions.txt.
If you want, I can grab the questions from when we did class last time and paste them here.
Yeah, that sounds good. Go ahead and put a semicolon and then new line. And then we're going to actually create 2 more vectors from this point. So another vector for ints. And then space, we'll just call this one answers. And then semicolon, another vector for strings. And then this one will be questions. Semicolon. So then go ahead and create another empty line. Perfect. And then from there, so this one's going to be a little bit different. This is going to be one word, if stream. Yep, space, and then IFS. Parentheses, and then the data file. So just type in data file. And then outside of that, go ahead and put a semicolon, new line. So we're going to create like a if statement. So if, and then parentheses. And then if it's not IFS, so a exclamation point and then IFS after. Outside, go ahead, put the curly brackets. And then from there, we're going to create kind of like an error check, I guess. So CERR space 2 greater than, or sorry, 2 less than. And then space in quotation marks. So we're going to type out fatal space error. And then colon space could not open. Perfect. And then yeah, so then from there, go ahead, put space and then another 2 less thans. And then space data file. Semicolon, new line. So then we're gonna have it exit. So go ahead and type exit. And then parentheses with the number 1 in there. And semicolon. So that's the end of that if. So we can go ahead and go outside of it now. Sorry, you might want to scroll down a little bit. Okay, so outside of the curly bracket. Oh, sorry. Go ahead and put that curly bracket again there. Those are one. Yeah, make an empty line between 31 and 32. Perfect. So now that we're outside the if statement, we'll go ahead and create an integer for the answer. So yeah, just answer. Semicolon and then space. Sorry, that won't need parentheses actually. It'll just be a standard integer. Yeah. And then next line. String. And then a question. So just question. Yeah. And then semicolon, next line. So here we're going to create a while loop. So go ahead. Yep. And then parentheses. And then type in IFS. So that, and then after that, sorry, we're still going to be inside the parentheses. So after IFS, go ahead, give it a space, and then 2 greater thans this time instead. Yep, space. Answer. And then outside of that, go ahead, put the curly brackets, and then, yep, perfect. And then we'll do a get line. Sorry, like literally it is going to be one word, get line. Yeah. In this one, the L is not capitalized. Yeah. Perfect. From there, parentheses, and then IFS, comma, space, question. And outside of that, go ahead, semicolon, next line. Answers. dot push underscore back.
Sorry, what is it?
Push underscore back, so like push back. Sorry, there's a underscore between push and back, yeah. Perfect. And then parentheses, and then inside the parentheses, answer. And then semicolon outside, next line. We'll do for now questions. Dot push back again. Parentheses, and then question. Semicolon on the outside. And then we're done with the while loop. So let's go ahead and get out of it. Sorry, new line. Sorry, get rid of that line really quick. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Let's do one more. Sorry, one more empty line. And from here, we'll do a for loop. Yep. So then size underscore t. Space I equals 0. Semicolon. Space I is less than num players. Semicolon, space I plus plus. And then outside of that, go ahead, put curly brackets. So for this for loop, we're going to see out. And then we'll, in quotation marks, we'll put player and then a space after the word player. And then outside of that, go ahead, set up for another entry. Sorry, 2 less thans again. And then space, in parentheses, I plus 1. And then outside of that, go ahead to 2 more less thans. Space, quotation marks. Space. Enter your name. Colon, space. And then outside of that, go ahead and put semicolon. We'll start the new line. So we're going to do another get line. And then parentheses. C in, comma, space. Or sorry, no, not literally just like a comma space, yeah, after the CN. Yep. And then player names. Square brackets. And then I inside of that. Perfect. And then go ahead, put a semicolon on the outside, and then we'll get out of the for loop. Put one more empty line. So then for this one, we're just going to do a see out message saying stand by for your question, ... And then go ahead and put a \n. Yeah. And then outside of that, semicolon, next line. And then sleep, parentheses inside of it, 1. And then semicolon, new line. size underscore t. I'm gonna create the random, I guess, for the amount of answers. Not too sure. We'll discuss that later. But yeah, space n. Sorry, space and then the letter n. Yeah, and then equals rand parentheses. And then outside of that, go ahead, put a space, percentage sign, then space. Answers. Dot size. And then parentheses. Outside of that, semicolon. And then new line. One more new line. Another for loop. We can set this up pretty much the same way that we have the other for loop in terms of like what's inside the parentheses. Yeah. Outside of that, curly brackets, and then inside we'll do a int, and then this int will just be called guess. Yep, semicolon, new line, new line. C out. And then we'll do in quotation marks player space. And then outside of that, go ahead and set up for a new one. So 2 less than again, yep. And then I+1. Perfect. And then outside of that, 2 more. Questions, and then square brackets n. And outside of that, go ahead, put the 2 more less thans, and then quotation marks, and then just put a space. Semicolon, new line at outside.
Do you want do you want to use the person's name instead of just the number?
What? Yes.
Yeah,
Some
we
reason,
can do that, right?
yeah,
Say player name.
Yeah.
yeah. Instead of
Plus 1 on line 52.
yeah, so we'll get rid of the I+1. I think.
And then we can just do player names I, right?
Yeah, player names.
And then remove the first player, that string.
And then in front of names, go ahead and put a bracket. Sorry, at the end of names. Bracket, square brackets, and then I inside. Okay, so then new line. We're gonna do a we're doing a C in, I guess, for now. And then 2 greater thans. Guess. Semicolon, new line. Player guesses. Square brackets I. And then outside equals guess. Semicolon, and then we're done with this for loop. One more empty line. We'll create an integer. named winning and then capital P player equals 0. And then semicolon new line. We'll make an integer called difference equals ABS. We're going to take the absolute, so parentheses, answers, and then square bracket n. Sorry, yeah, for answers. Perfect, yeah. And then, so after, sorry, go inside of the parentheses again. Yep, space, minus, space. Player guesses. Square bracket 0. And then outside of that, go ahead, semicolon, and then we'll do a new line entirely.
You know, you could have the situation where all players answer correctly.
Players. Yeah, I guess we can try fleshing out the program first, and then we can get back to that. And then from here, for loop. And then pretty much like the past for loops, but instead of I equaling 0, it's going to be 1. Go ahead, curly bracket. And if statement. And then parentheses. We'll do the absolute thing again. And then parentheses. Answers n. It's going to be like the difference one, except instead of player guesses 0, it's going to be player guesses I. Yep. And then outside of the both parentheses, space, sorry, still on that same line. Yeah, space less than difference. And then go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, close off the parenthesis. So closing one. And then curly bracket. Then we'll go to new line. Winning player equals I. Semicolon, new line. Difference equals. We're gonna do that app. We're gonna copy the absolute answers n minus player guesses I from line 62. Yep. Let's copy that there. Yeah. And then you're gonna need a closing parentheses on that. Yeah. And then go ahead, semicolon. So then get out of this loop and or get out of the for loop, I guess. So you have to scroll down a bit. Yeah, create a space after 68. One more. Yep. And then C out. And then we're going to say player. Space. And then outside of that, go ahead 2 more less thans. And then space player names. Square bracket, and then inside winning player. Outside of that, 2 more less thans. And then quotation mark, space wins, and then \n. Perfect. Semicolon, next line. CL. And then we're going to say the answer was. Space. And then from here, outside the quotation mark, and then 2 more less thans. Random. 2 more less thans. Endel. Semicolon, new line. Return 0, semicolon. And I think that was our program up to this point.
I have a question.
So
I like the less than difference part is outside of the if condition. Is it supposed to be outside of that condition, or is it supposed to be inside?
I'm sorry, which line?
Line 62.
62.
So it's calculating before it.
Right, yeah. So essentially it's just comparing between the absolute of the answers n minus player guesses I, and it's checking to see if that absolute value is less than the difference that we currently have, though on line 60.
Yeah, but like the less the difference part is outside of the if parentheses, it's outside of that.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean. Yeah. So yeah, just get rid of 1. Yep. My bad. Yeah. I guess from here we can go ahead and do the questions file. So go ahead, next to the run button on the left, do 1 more to the left. Yeah, go ahead and click that, and then create name that questions.txt. Yep. And then here in the chat log, go ahead and copy what Francis wrote. Then I think I got some more. Let me see if I can put in the other ones. You can go ahead and copy and paste that. The new questions. And yeah, I think that was pretty, yeah, what we had before.
So you guys don't have more questions? You gotta be more creative than this. Try to come up with a few more quickly, not like 10 seconds, and I'll just read it off. I just say, well, you know what, I want to find out how many feet dolphin can listen to each other. I don't know. Create weird questions like this. And you just have to ask one of your assistants or on your phone what the answer is, and you'll get the number and put it there. Okay, so you don't need to know what the thing is, you just need to know the question. Ask the question, get the question from your digital assistant and enter it. Okay, so we just need interesting questions, lots of interesting questions that will like Cranium and all these other games that became a big hit at that point. Even though the gameplay is not very creative, in our case, the gameplay is really, if you think about it, the standard version of this Price is Right game. Yeah. So there's no novelty to it. But you can make the game itself novel by injecting novelty in something that is not a standard feature of the game, right? So you can inject the aesthetics, make it look pretty or beautiful or something like that. Or in this case, the really cool thing about this game is the setting, like the Grim Fandango game of George Lucas. Have you seen it? Has this very Aztec-y feel to it. It's just the decor and everything. They had a name for it. It's just names and form. But bring your personality and things like that, maybe multiple personalities to bear. And just say, lots and lots of questions, so that people who play this don't play it for the game, they actually play it for your questions. Yeah. So because the binary that you've created is just going to be one binary, anybody could use it. But I'll show you after this is done. And after I work through, thank you, Brandon, by the way, okay, for for walking through all of this. We'll go back to the code and we'll make sure it's because we haven't tested it, we'll make sure it's bug free, and I'll walk everybody through every token in this code so that everybody is on the same page and everybody understands this. Now this is questions.txt. We have time, and I will show you a way in which you can create multiple files. This is called questions.txt. Okay, maybe Matthias is going to create a Matthias.txt file. Okay, and it has questions about baseball or soccer. I'm pretty sure you can come up with a million questions that have numbers in soccer, right? How many runs do you have to score in soccer to be the winner? Something like that. Yeah. So you can have lots and lots of these questions. And then Francis could have his own file, maybe about birds. Okay. So birds.txt, soccer.txt, and so on and so forth. Then you can play this game by invoking it, by saying, well, you know what, whatever you call this game, right? Here, let's call it foo for now, right? Or play game. We will call it a game.exe. Okay, the game, soccer.txt. You get a lot of questions about soccer. Isn't that thing? There is a game on game shows. I think you can choose categories. Yeah, something like that. So you can create category packs, and you can release this, right? You can have your own blog, or in your blog you can have a section saying, well, you know what, here I created a new pack for that game yesterday, right? And then you can release it every week. You can release a new pack along with your favorite blog article about something. Yeah, just to keep the fun juices flowing. And so that I'll show you how to do that with the command line argument, as it were, which also will introduce the concept of argc and argv. Okay, I hope that's possible on this machine. Or if anyone has a Mac, we'll go with that, and it'll be a lot easier. All right. So yeah, do more questions. You should basically be typing in your questions into chat, and every new question that Brandon sees is you're going to copy and paste in here. Okay, that's all. Okay. And find the answer. Find the answer to these and put the numbers there too. 5 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes for this. Yeah, that'll take us to about 7:05 or something, and then we can start fiddling with the code. Hey, I don't see the numbers though. You got to have the numbers, the answers. How many
Yeah,
rings?
it's just in a weird format. I'm putting them.
Oh, it's there. It's there.
No, I'm still in the process of adding it.
Oh, I see. But why aren't the oh, I see. People are just putting the questions in there. You haven't found the answers. I see. I can find out for you if you want. Oh, you do have them? Is it the same? How many rings are there? Are there only 5 rings in the Olympic flag? How many stars? I have no idea. Okay, if you asked me to guess these numbers, I would be totally off by an order of magnitude, maybe. How many men were there in the American disco group? Wow. All right. I don't know. All right. Go on. Right. Go. Yeah. Add more. Add more. Wait, I see a whole bunch of their fun things. I mean, numbers there after line 23. What's number 2 helium? Oh, it's a copy paste thing.
Yeah, I'm trying to paste from what's in the chat. It's not in the same format as the other questions though.
No, after 4, why does it say 6? Why for 6 it says 6 feet? What is 6 feet for? What's going on there? What's all that junk?
Okay, I uploaded a bunch of stuff to the chat, and the way I found it on the internet was it did the questions first in a list, and then it did the answers in a list. They don't do it the way we're doing it, so it's making it harder on the.
That's okay. You
on
can just
Ian.
get rid of the junky parts. The rest of it seems okay. Just get rid of the junky parts. See, most of it seems okay, but you have this part where pi 6 point something, right? Go scroll up a bit. Scroll up a bit. Well, you got a lot of questions in here. Scroll up even more because I'm pretty sure I saw some junk in there.
No, that's all the way up, Professor.
Yeah. Go down a little bit now. I'm pretty sure I saw some junk in there. We want to remove all of that. Otherwise, the reason we have to be careful about this is that it. That's all the questions. Okay. I was so sure that I saw some junk in here, and that's all there is. That's okay. All right. Okay. Save it. Let's go to the code. We'll give the code a once over. Okay. We'll run it, make sure it goes, and then we'll try to explain it to everybody. And when everybody's comfortable, we'll go ahead and enhance it. Add argc, argv, and that kind of stuff. All right. Let's go to the top of the code again. Wow, very nice. Most of the formatting is also very clean and all. So Brandon, thank you so much for that. All right. So using namespace. All right, put a blank line after. Oh, actually, you put a blank line after the srand line because it's more like a statement there rather than a declaration. A blank line after that. Okay, all right, int. All right, that's okay. Int. And what's I see player guesses. Okay, all right. Further down, IF stream IFS. All right, okay, great. Further down. All right, so guys, move the blank line before the brace and after the brace, not before the brace. On line 31, move that to 32, right? Get rid of the blank line and put the blank line after the brace. All right, okay. All right. So int answer string question. All right, get line. Oh, this won't work. I think it's. Oh, I see. While IFS equal greater than answer. I see. You're doing that. Okay, and then you're getting line. Now, I'm actually worried to see if that we didn't test it because that IFS double greater than is going to peel off the number, but it'll leave the space, and then you're going to get the rest of it, and then the get line will get the rest. Okay, all right. I think it's going to work in a weird kind of way. But it'll make my explaining of it, it's going to be convoluted when we get to that part, when I'm trying to explain what the hell is going on there. All right, first STI equals 0. That's the non-players. Okay, player. Yeah. Instead of I see player I+1 enter your name. Okay, all right, get line. All right, great. Okay, and then stand by for your question. Sleep. That's fantastic. All right, scroll further down, please. That sleep idea is actually due to a past student. Several quarters ago. Her name is Erica. What's her last name? Forget her. Altamirano. So several quarters ago. So we did a game just like this. It's a very different game. Something else. And then the game was okay. And then the next day she she said, I made a change to that game. That's all. She's just a two-way student like you. She said, I made a change to that game, which makes the experience a whole lot better. And all she did was inject sleep statements in, select points in that game. Okay, well, it wasn't so simple like this. Select points. Now, determining where to put these sleep statements is actually an art form. You need to know, right? You need to have an intuition for how the flow is, so you don't inject a space where a space shouldn't be, like a musical phrase, right? So she put all this, and then we played the game. It was like different experience altogether. It gave people breathing room, right? At the right times and so on. So that makes a huge difference. And I'm pretty sure that if you don't have that sleep statement in there, this game would actually have a much better, much worse experience than that. So thanks to that student, Erica, if she's watching this video and all. All right. Okay. So there you go. All right. Sleep one, and then you're picking rand person. And that's fantastic. Okay. All right. Again, you get rid of the blank lines after player guesses equals guess. Yeah, after on 56 and 57, get rid of the blank lines on 56 and 57. Now I'm guessing. Now, do we do anything with C and after that? Just further scroll further down, because we're leaving the new line in the stream. You're reading the guess, the number, but you're leaving the new line there. So if you're doing any CEN or get line after that, you got to be careful. You got to do the ignore thing. But hopefully we're not doing anything else. Okay, clean up the blank lines. Clean up the blank lines. 0 answers. You got and you got the difference. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, you got a blank line on 64 also. 64. You get rid of the 64 blank line and then put the blank line before the return, and get rid of the blank line after the return. Okay, all right, cool. That's fantastic. All right, I think this should run, and hopefully because of Richard's work, because he did that script to get out those questions, hopefully we'll get a random question. You know what? Why don't we do this thing? After you read that file, why don't you put a line out there? Okay, go up to the place where you read the file. Yeah. Yeah, further down. I think line 40 or something. Yeah, for line 40, yeah, 39 and hit enter. 39 and hit enter. No. After the brace, not before the brace. All right, now say C out, left shift, and then open quote, say red, RE80 with a capital R. Yeah, and then say answers dot size. Okay, left shift answers dot size. Left shift answers dot size. Are we still seeing looking at Ian's screen here? No, lowercase. No. Read, open, read, and then close double quote. Close the double quote. Yeah, there you go. Space. Yeah, there you go. Close the double quote. No, you need a space after read. You need a space after read. Speaking of which, I noticed an error that you had, I think, when we were scrolling past. There was a space missing somewhere. We'll insert that. Okay. No. Let's fix that. So left shift left before the answers dot size. Two less thans. And then lowercase answers. Lowercase answers. And then after the size, do open close. And then left shift again. And then open, open double quote space. And say questions and answers, period. Questions and answers. Yeah, have you got that? Okay, and then you do an endl after that, endl or something. No. If you want to do an endl, it'll be afterwards, or you got to do a /n like Brandon was doing. And then you need to left shift the endl. Okay, a semicolon at the end. Now let's scroll down, because I'm pretty sure I saw a place where you didn't have. Yeah. There you go, line 54. So see our player names of I, and then the question is basically jammed up against that. So put between the two, left shift a hyphen. Yeah, between the two, left shift a hyphen, space hyphen space. Yeah, left shift there at that point. Yeah, left shift a space hyphen space. No, within quotes. They got to be within quotes. I think you need a space on both sides. It won't look good otherwise. Okay, all right. So that is good. That looks good. How many lines is this altogether? I bet it's 75 lines or less, the total thing. And funny thing is, it's 70 lines, right? It's 70 lines, and we're not even using any functions at this point. We're using built-in functions. We haven't created our functions our own functions. In fact, I didn't plan for this. Okay. I thought, well, maybe we'll end up with one function or two function, and then I can, do some hand wavy explanations for now until we cover functions formally next class, next week. But we actually didn't use any functions, no fancy C++. We're just doing it. It's a C program, any language. In fact, you can take this, translate it word for word into, Java or JavaScript. You got another game, the same game in a different language, 70 lines at most. And then the format of the questions is very different. It's just a text file, right? So I think if we run it now, we'll actually get a nice selection of questions. Thanks to Richard. Increase the size of the console and run it. And then, we'll play one round, okay? Before we try and hack it. Before I try and explain the details of this game. Yeah, increase the size of the console. By the way, Ian, are you happy doing this, or do you want to pass the, this link on to someone else to take over at this point? Are you finding this useful at all? Getting a C++.
I think it's useful just to like process the information in my brain. I still kind of have not really any idea what's going on, but
yes,
I think it helps me to process it.
Yes, yeah, obviously. I think everybody needs to process it. And we're going to talk about this code. We're going to talk about the code line by line, okay? So you can feel free to either drive or, nominate someone else that is your call.
I don't really mind either way.
Okay, let's go ahead. And then when you get bored, just, nominate someone. Or, the best thing is someone else who wants to code. Let's say Yichu wants to code. She'll say, well, I'll go. Right? And then raise your hand. Hey, Ian, can I take over? That's actually fantastic. If only some people will do that, right? And then Ian says, hey, hang on for a few seconds. Let me finish this for block, and then you can take it from there. Okay, that kind of thing is really cool and fantastic to have. Okay, see if you can get that going. Okay, now why don't we see the console there? You can run it, right? You can run it. Oh, now you got a console. Hey, look, no errors, okay? Thanks to Brandon and all you guys doing a fantastic job here. There are no errors. The first time we run it, it actually runs. And by the way, speaking of no errors, that, less than left shift I+1, I said it shouldn't work. But I actually tried it. It seemed to work. But I'm pretty sure like 5 years ago, it didn't work. So something changed the C++ standard regarding the precedence rules somewhere, because that I+1, the precedence rules that I think I know don't work. Okay, so please do weigh in on that, right? You can say, hey, the prof thought this won't work, but I tried it, it works. Do you know what I'm talking about? When in the previous thing, the previous class, someone typed, double less than I+1 without the parentheses. It actually worked. I thought it would never work. So please try it. If it works, do some research and say, hey, this is the reason it works. Something changed, and I found it, and it's actually great.
So we read one question.
Yeah. Well, go ahead, Richard.
Not a whole list.
I'm sorry, Richard, was that a question?
It says read one questions and answers.
Oh,
So
wow.
we didn't.
Yeah, I didn't. It was so something funky going on there. Okay, let's go and debug it. Okay. Yeah, okay, kill this program. Hit the stop button. Why did it only read one question? Okay, let's go to the loop where you're reading in the file. Where are you reading the file? No, where you're reading your file. Oh, I see. Read. All right. Yeah, there you go. That while IFS into answer. I think what's going on is that accidentally you're reading an int into a non-int or something like that. Okay, I think this is what is going on. Let's fix it, and let's do it the clean way. Okay, this is not the right way to do it, by the way. This is a hacky way. I'll show you the clean way to do it. So go to the end of it, and obviously, Brandon was probably following the pattern that I used last class, and that was also a hacky pattern. Okay, I'll show you the right way to do it. And also, when I talk about the code, I'll tell you why this is the right way and why this is the hacky way. Okay, so now go comment out that while loop. Okay, we'll do it again the right way. Okay, comment out the while loop. I think you should be able to select it and hit. I don't know. Maybe I don't know how you would comment out a block here in online GDB.
Well, /star, right?
Oh, I see. Yeah. It's like C++. Like C. Yeah, you can do the like C. Yeah, and then clean up the other C++ kind of style comment so that the rest of the code is neat. Yeah. And then close the after the curly brace, put the // That's where our, block comment comes in useful all of a sudden. Okay, all right, hit enter. Okay, and then one more enter and say the better way to read from the file, the better way to read from the file. Okay. All right, okay. And this will also be a whole lot easier for you to debug, right? If something goes wrong. Okay, and then on the next line, you're going to say while get line on the next line. Yeah, easier to debug. All right. So and say while no, you can actually say while get line. No comment. You just say while, right? Get line, and then the get line part has got to be within parentheses. Yeah. Yeah, excellent. All right. After get line, open parentheses. No. Open parentheses. No space, just open parentheses. And you're going to say IFS. Do we have IFS at this point? Yeah, right. IFS, comma. Do we have a string line somewhere? Well, yeah, you just do a line and then declare string line on one line above that. Yeah. Well, you seem to be pretty comfortable with, C++ EN from the way you're reacting to these comments. So even if you're thinking that there's a challenge here and there, I'm pretty sure it'll be very easy for you to overcome these. I'm confident anyway. Okay. So either that or the past 20 minutes of just typing C++, helped tremendously. Okay. Because I do sense a significant improvement in the confidence with which, you're approaching C++ things. All right. String line, yeah, semicolon right there. Okay, and then while get line IFS, and then after the comma say line, space line. All right, and then two curly braces, two open. What is it? Two. I think you got it. Yeah, two other parentheses, two closing parentheses, and then space curly brace. Right, hit enter. You should get one more. You should automatically. Yeah, great. Okay. All right. Now here is where we're going to read all the lines, and each line we read, we're going to split it. And for each line, you're going to extract a number and then a question. Okay. So here's how we do it. Say how do we do it? Yeah. Say I string stream. Okay. Say I string stream. Right. And then space. ISS. Now this is well, what lecture is this? Is this week 4? Week 4. Yeah, week 4, lecture 2. Okay, this is week 4, lecture 2. And maybe some students, maybe in other sections, might say, "Wow, okay, well, you got a stream, and when you're reading stuff from that stream, when that stream is still open, you're opening another stream in here." Now that may be seen by, or even in ordinary programming terms, right? Having 2 files open for reading at the same time, it's kind of seen as a non-trivial thing to do. But you got to see, it is actually a trivial thing to do. All you're doing is just, instead of 1 pipe, I got 2 pipes. I got to read from both of them. Okay. And if you follow the logic all the while through, as we'll walk through, you'll actually see it's very simple and straightforward. Okay. I just want you to, keep that in mind. Okay. So what we're doing here is I've read an entire line from the file stream, and that line, the string, I'm going to pretend that string in memory is a file by itself. And there is an object in C++ that can do it for us, okay? That is a string stream. The string stream will give you a stream, just like a file stream, just like CN. However, it is pointing to a string, which is, an area in memory that contains a string instead of to a file or instead of to a console. That's the only difference. What string? That's a string that you're going to give it. So you can say, hey, I got a string. It's got a string of all the names of the students, like Matthias, Richard, all, it's got a string, all of these things. That's a string. Now give me a CIN kind of thing, a stream that points to that string. So every time I read from the stream, it's moving 1 character in that string to read it. Does it make sense? That is what I string stream does. Okay. Now I'm glad we got this on on video, because I think the explanation for that, I think I did a pretty good job describing it, but maybe it was too fast for the content. But it's on video. Yeah, that's why I was happy. So you can rewind it or play it, at the right speed, and you can Or you can always ask me for clarifications if you don't understand that, but it's there, right? So that's what we're doing here. So in order to use that library, well, let's complete that. Okay, after ISS, open parentheses, and say line, close parentheses, and then semicolon. Okay, now let's put a comment on that line. Okay, let's put a comment on that line to put a space before the comment. Okay, yeah, and say this makes a stream called ISS like CN, except it points into line. Okay, I think that is information enough to make sense of what we're trying to do there. Now, if you don't understand it, you should ask and say, well, we're going to go over the code again. Sorry. Okay. Right. All right. Okay. Enter. Okay. Now, what you're going to do is say ISS right shift answer. Okay. ISS right shift into answer. Enter. So semicolon enter. Now, here is the bit that I want. Open a tab, and yeah, open a tab, and let's Google for C++ string stream methods. Okay, I want to look for a method that will return a string representation of whatever is in the stream. Okay. Yeah. Click that. The first one. Actually, we should have gone to the second one because that is the. Yeah. No, that's okay. That's okay. Oh, there you go. That's what we want. So it's .str. Okay, fantastic. All right. So yeah. All right. So go back to the our code again. And say, and what is the other thing? Yeah, question equals ISS.str. Okay. Now semicolon. Well, let's put a put a comment there too. Assign the remaining words in the stream to the question. Right. Put a comment there. Assign remaining words in the stream to question. Now, here's what we'll do. Since we noticed that Richard brought up the observation, right? That, I'd only read one, even though that was a buggy way to read it. This is the right way to do it. But still, let's make sure that we're actually reading in everything that we're supposed to. So on the next line, we're going to do something. We're going to put in a cout statement that we're going to end up deleting now. We'll do it, run it, make sure it's all, as expected, and delete it. Okay, it's just a form of debugging it. Preemptive debugging, or defensive debugging, even before we actually run into the error. The cout, right? And then left shift, question equals, within quotes, you say question equals. Yeah, equals, and then outside you say left shift, question. Oh, by the way, after str, you need open close parentheses because it was a method, not a property or a field. Right. All right. So put a semicolon at the end of question. Oh, you need endl. Yeah, endl. Left shift endl after a question. Yeah, after left shift endl question, and then one more after that. You also put the answer also. So, oh, you want to do it right there? I thought the next line, but that's it. Yeah, endl semicolon. Yeah, go to the next line as yeah, and then cout answer equals, and then answer. Oh, and obviously we need to, push back the answer and the question into, so copy those two lines and put them here too.
Might be
Oh,
easier
answer?
to read if you put the answer first.
Yeah, but complete the line and then we'll swap the two lines. Yeah, answer space equals. And then left shift answer. And in fact, we'll also make sure it's formatted nicely. Even though it's just debug lines, we're going to get rid of it. That doesn't matter, right? I was going to say use set width and all. That's okay. Right now, get rid of the blank line below it, and then swap the two lines, because I think, was it Richard or someone said that it'll be easier to read if it was the other way around? Richard, was that you?
Yes,
Someone
sir.
said, yeah,
Yes,
okay.
sir.
Yeah. So did you swap it around? So put the answer before the question. Yeah, triple click and you'll get the whole line, but that's okay. And then get rid of the blank line. I think it's good to go. Oh, you got copy the two lines, pushbacks, the two pushbacks, line 37 and 38 should now also be here. Now, even though this is, after you get rid of the C out and all these other things, even though it's slightly longer than the previous while loop, this is the better way to do it, okay? Because when you're reading input from C in or anything, it's always better to read in as general as possible, like a whole line, and then split it up like you want it, rather than to assume that it's going to be structured in a, because when you assume it's going to be structured in a particular way and it isn't, it throws the file descriptor itself into a bad state, saying, well, okay, the file is not as we expect, so I'm not going to give you any more at all. Then you end up reading one line and something doesn't happen. Okay, I put a blank line.
I have a question.
Sure, go ahead.
So when we say while get line of the IFS, I bet that's an input operator. Oh, I mean, so a function.
It is a function, yeah.
Using the reads in the line. So like, does get line return a Boolean?
I think it returns an object. Why don't we Google for it? Okay. Why
I
don't you
Googled and it says it returns an IS string reference.
Oh, it does return a string. Yes.
It's an IS string reference. It's a reference of the IS string.
Oh, I see. Yes. Okay. All right. Yeah, then it's good. Okay. If it returns reference to the IF stream, it is good, because when you try to read past the end of a file stream, the file stream will be marked bad.
Okay, so if it couldn't read the line, then the while statement would break.
Yes. That's why you shouldn't assume that I'm going to read an integer and say C and double left shift or IFS left shift, right? Because if it couldn't read an integer, it only read a character instead of an integer, again, it'll mark it bad. And then, it'll break out of the loop.
Does while only taking like Boolean? Like why could you put like something else?
No, you can't. Yeah, no. Go ahead, complete that question. Why
if I said while 5, that would be always true.
Yes, it'll work. While 5. Yeah, all right. Richard is going to love this. Okay, while 5 is going to work because 5 is synonymous with true in C++, because it inherits from C. And in C, historically, 0 stood for false and anything non-zero stood for true. Okay. Now, this is an anomaly, really, because this is like a programmer's hack, and it was one of the bad hacks. Okay. Yeah, in my mind, okay, maybe not in other people's minds. It is a bad hack trying to treat 0 as false and non-zero as true. Well, okay, it kind of makes sense in an intuitive level, but it opens up a whole host of problems. It is better to have discrete types. It is Boolean, so it's either true or false. They're both equally likely, right? You have a uniform distribution there. And the reason I say it's hacky is because it gives, it makes possible what Mark just said. Okay, he said, well, if I said while 5, it's like saying while true, it'll work. But if I said while 0, it won't work, because while 0 is while false. Yes, because 0 is false and anything non-zero is true.
Could we say like basically everything in C++ that's not false, which is also 0, so basically everything that's not 0, then it would just be a true statement.
Yes, anything that is not 0 is a true. When it comes to doing pointers, for example, when it comes to doing pointers, you have a special address called a null pointer, and you can actually say if not null pointer and it'll work, because null pointer's value is 0. Null pointer is a memory address that is actually equal to 0. Every byte in memory has a memory address, right? If I say memory address 75,043, that is a 75,043rd byte in memory, arranged sequentially 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. Yes. So each byte has an address. That is what a pointer is. You know, a sneak peek at that lesson. That will come downstream. But there is a special address called address 0. What is byte number 0? Reserved. Okay, that is called a null pointer. You cannot put anything in there. If you put anything in there, the program will be, you know, killed immediately, because the operating system doesn't like it. This is reserved, and we actually use that to our advantage. So anything non-zero is true. Anything 0 is false, which lets you do ugly things. Ugly in the sense that it's okay if you're like totally marinated in in C syntax and internalize these things, then they don't look so jarring. But for a human approaching it, I'm pretty sure it's jarring to say, oh, you know, first of all, it's not balanced, okay? Because in our minds, intuitively, we believe that true and false are equally likely, right? You know, equally likely, you know, uniform distribution. There's no information there a priori. You know, the universe has no information, right? Information comes because of energy injection, right? When one is more likely than the other. So we just say a priori, no information, 0, 0, equal likelihood, 50%, 50%, right? So, but if you say, well, you know what, that's 0, but everything non-zero is true, that kind of shifts the, you know, intuitive representation of true and false. So that is why C++ has these Boolean types called true and false, although because it is backward compatible with C, internally hidden from you, true is converted into 1, okay, and false is 0, okay, internally.
So if we talk about 0, like int 0
Yeah.
or Boolean false or no pointer with no, we're out pointing to like the no pointer memory address, right? Essentially,
What was the last sentence you said? Without pointing to null pointer.
like out of that, where we're talking about the memory address, which is reserved to be like 0.
Yes, yes.
So like every false statement basically points to that.
Well, that is like saying I got a number 0. I can treat that number 0 in an arithmetic expression, right? What is 5 plus 0? 5, right? That 0 is a pointer. Then I say, well, you know, 0 can be treated as a pointer to memory. 0 can be treated as a number of, you know, stars in some square millimeter or whatever
I
it is.
think I might have an explanation for this.
All right.
Right, so typically bools are supposed to be just 1 bit that can be either a 0 or 1, but in programming languages, a bool actually takes a whole byte, which is 8 bits. So you can represent a lot of numbers with those 8 bits, but only 0 is the false value, and every single other number gets treated like 1. So that's just a byte, and bytes can be interpreted as many other things, like a pointer. And when it's interpreted as a pointer, then when it's 0, that's no pointer.
That's the best. That's
Yeah,
the
I
best
see.
I have heard so far, including the ones that I have given. Thank you so much for that, Josh. Okay, very insightful and clear description. Right? He actually got to the heart of the problem. True and false, they only require 1 bit. Yeah, because 1 is 0, 1 is true, and 0 is false. Only 1 bit. But in a byte, there's 8 of them. What are you going to do with the remaining 7 bits? Just waste it. So,
Wait, but okay. My last question, that's different from like the no pointer, right? Because you said that's a memory address that's reserved.
Interpret that as anything. I think that's what he said. You can actually interpret that as anything. You can interpret that as a pointer, then you got a pointer. You can take later on when you talk about pointers. Let's not worry about pointers now, but later on, I give you an object and say, that is a floating point number. Then you look at it differently. Yes? If I gave you an object and I said it's a floating point number, then you're going to chop it up into 3 parts, or, you know, or the sign and the exponent and the mantissa and so on. But if I told you it's not a floating point number, it is just a 2's complement number. Yeah, then you're going to look at it differently. Yes.
Okay, so basically every single data, every single type could be like false if it just declares 0, right? If
yes,
the thing that's underlying by
in fact, it is not just every single type. Anything that you can store in a digital medium today in binary essentially consists of 1s and 0s, individual bits. Yes.
Whether it's one more thing, I think
yeah.
like every string ends with like the end string character, which is equivalent to just the null pointer too. That's why sometimes some IDEs, when you check the type of null pointer, it says string because they all have the same byte value.
I think I did get that error message once.
Except it's not a null pointer, it is actually a null character, meaning that is the byte zero, byte zero, or 0, 8 bits. That byte is the last character inside of a string. That's how you can tell that you've run out of a string. And therefore you can use that true and false thing to say, not of the last character, it will actually tell you when you've run out of the string. Okay, but anyway, let's not go into the detail of that. But hopefully that answers your question, Mark. Whatever type you take, if I tell you that you interpret that as a pointer, you can go and use it as a pointer. Yeah, thank you. Right. Well, if any of you have questions about this, obviously you can ask. We'll go over the code line by line, and you can make sure we'll make sure that everybody is on the same page. Okay. All right. So run it now, and hopefully we should see a whole pile of questions. Okay. All the questions that. No, something is wrong. Oh yeah. Right to the go right to the top of the file. Go right to the top of the file. Hash include where you have all the hash includes, and go under f stream. Yeah, the next line, and say hash include s stream. This is for string stream, I think. I hope I'm right. Okay, it's either that or a string stream, but we'll try s stream. Yeah, right. Now run it again. Oh, no, hang on. Something is funny here. I can't. Sorry. Something is funny here. Go to that. I think this your file has got. Oh, I see. Okay, I think what's going on is in this file you have carriage returns instead of new lines. Okay, and that is screwing with the output. Now copy all of this. And open Notepad or something. Open Notepad. I paste it here. And go to paste it here. And then this is and then make sure this is all the format. If I click on format, make sure it's all plain text. Oh, you don't have that. So it is all right. No, wait a second. View, click on view. We'll just make sure it's okay. All right. Now copy from here back into this document. Copy from here back into this document. Yeah. Command A or Control A and get the whole thing and delete it. Paste it. Oh, I see. Stop it and paste it.
There's that extra line at the bottom too that's got miscellaneous spaces.
I see. Get rid of that. Thank you. But put one blank line there. Yeah. Put enter. Yeah. All right. But everything else looks okay so far. I just want to make sure there's actually an enter or enter character. Go to the end of any line and hit enter. I want to make sure if it goes to the next line. No, not the last line. Go to any line. All right, okay. No, get rid of the blank line. Save this. Save this file and run it again. Why is it not reading all those lines? Oh, yeah, increase the size. It's read a lot of things. Go back to, all right. Why is it got answer equals and then 2 and question equals? Oh, it's not read. Yeah. Oh, and then it says question equals the whole thing too. No, one sec. Yeah. You don't have to scroll more. It says it's got the answer and then it's got the whole thing in question, which means that in the buffer, the 5 is still left around in the buffer. Why is the 5 still left around in the buffer? Even after you've read it. There's something even something we have. Yeah, let's go back to that place where you read from the string. No, to that place where you read from the string. Yeah, here. Instead of iss.str, what you should do, get rid of that. And instead of that, type get line ISS, comma, question, get line. No, right there. Get rid of question equals, and say get line ISS, comma, question. No, you need, oh, that should be within curly, yeah, there you go. Nice. Thank you, Ian. Okay. Okay, run it now. I think it should look more, hopefully. Okay, all right, okay. So we're reading all the questions and the answers, yes or no? See, that's why I said it's and what does it say at the very end? Read so many questions. No, at the very end, 37. Okay, great. That looks right. I can get rid of the 2 C outlines or put a comment in front of the 2 C out. Yeah, answer equals, question equals. Yeah, put a comment in front of those. Just put a comment in front of those. Yeah, comment those 2 lines out. Stop it. All right, now it should work. Okay, now we can actually play this game. You can increase the size of the console and run it, and then we'll play this game. I'm so sorry. We should have started to play this game earlier, but it's good. I'm happy we actually went through the whole thing, but we'll still talk about this code and make sure we all understand it. Run it now. Yeah, and then. Okay, it read 37 questions and answers. Okay, all right, Ian, you're going first. Okay, type in your name. Okay, and Richard is going next. Okay, who else? Maybe Yichu. Yichu, did you play last time? Yichu, are you here? Do you want to play?
Sure.
All right, say Yichu. All right, and then maybe Sophia. Sophia, are you here?
Yes.
Okay, Sophia. It's four of you. You're going to take guesses. What is your question? Stand by. All right. Oh my, yeah. Hey, what is that funny thing? Okay, you got that AN and then a hash, a dash, and then that. So that is something you got to debug and clean up. And why? No, hang on. We shouldn't. Anyway, let's. What is the smallest number that can be? That is 17. Yeah, right. Okay, go ahead. Okay, play this game. Player 1. Oh, I see. It should say player 1, but it says Ian-1. All right. Here's what is going on. Okay, I think I know what's going on. Okay, I think I know what's going on. You can stop this. Oh no, don't. Yeah, stop it because you got all the junk now, right? I think what's going on is that after you print the question, stand by for your question. Sleep 1. Where do you print the question? Where do you print the question at all? Here's what we'll do. Okay, all right. Stand by for your question. After there you go. After line 62, hit enter. Hit enter after 62. Yeah, hit enter and say C out, left shift, questions square bracket I, questions square bracket N, questions square bracket N. Okay, and then left shift endl, and then 2 endls after that, so that we print the question and then 2 lines. And then it's going to say player 1. Yeah. And then get rid of where you have questions of N on line 68. Line 68, get rid of questions of N. You don't want questions of N there. And then no hyphen because, oh, I see. Instead of that, you say, instead of that hyphen, after the hyphen, say enter your guess. After the hyphen, say enter with a capital N, you can say enter your guess, colon space. Yeah, ENTER. Yeah, and then colon space after the guess. Yeah, and then you're going to do CN guess after that. Okay. Oh, I see. And then after that, after player guesses, after you read the guess, it's in a loop. Yeah. Okay. So hit enter after that. Hit enter after guess after line 70. And here again, you want to do cn.ignore. Okay. Again, this is a hack, and you should put a comment there. Someone should change this to use getLine and iString to get the guess, instead of doing cn left shift and then cn.ignore, because this is the less clean way to do it. You're reading just the number, leaving the new line, and then calling cn.ignore to go ahead and clean up the new line. Okay, otherwise the new line is going to be there and mess up your next read and so on and so forth. So someone change this and go on to the next line and say, discuss this in the forums. Okay, so you got some stuff to talk about in the forums also. Okay. No, cin dot ignore, by the way, cin dot ignore, not right shift ignore, cin dot ignore. Yeah. And then within that, you say open, close, open, close. After that, you say open and close. I think this should work. Okay. Hit semicolon, 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 semicolon. I think this should work. Let's see. Oh, no, endl and then left shift endl. You have endl, right? Endl and then left shift another endl. Your question is, when it says, yeah, stand by for you. Yeah, there you go. Left shift. All right. Run again. What is going on? Oh, you need a semicolon. Good. You're getting good practice here, Ian. Okay. All right. Okay. Hey, all right, great. Okay. And I hope everybody's here. Yeah, okay. Richard. Okay, all right, go for it.
My computer died, and I'm just repairing it right now. I'm on the phone.
Okay.
I'm on the phone Zoom.
How many stars are there in the flag of on the flag of China? Ian, enter your guess. Okay, well, it looks much better now, at least, right? It looks much better. Go ahead, Ian. Enter your guess. All right, okay. Well, you know what? This is kind of stupid because everybody knows the answer now. Really. All right, go ahead. Richard, how many stars are there in the flag of China?
I don't know, 300.
All right, 300. Okay, Richard is. All right, okay. Yichu, how many flags are there in the stars are there in the flag of China?
4.
4. Oh my gosh, I think you're wrong. Okay. Is that 4? I thought it was 5.
I don't
Sophia,
know.
what is it? Sophia?
Oh, I 3.
3. Okay, 3. Right, did enter? Ian wins. Look, the answer was 934. Something is wrong here, okay? All right, something is wrong. Well, you got the interface working. What we can do now is in the next 5 minutes, we've got a little bit of time, right? 5 minutes. We'll go over the code. Here is your to-do item, okay? Extra credit. Someone should figure out what the hell is going on. It certainly does not have 934 flags as squares, stars in it. Yes? So something is wacky here with the question and the answer. There's a mismatch. 934 might be the answer for something. Is 934 an answer for anything at all? Well, no, maybe the last one, very last one. No? Is there a 934 in this file? Oh, then it's easier to debug then, I think. Yeah,
Could it be the color control codes in Earth and Moon?
No, it's not here. So it must be easy for us to debug. If you go to the code, we'll actually figure out what the hell is going on. So go to the place where you have, go to your code. It'll probably be very easy to spot. Yeah. Where do you print the correct answer? Enter your guess. And then where do you print the correct answer? The correct answer was, no, it's not random. Why does it say random? It should say answer. Where is random, by the way? Where is random? Do you have a variable called random? Go up there. You shouldn't have anything called random in this file. Get rid of random. We don't need random. That you get rid of the line. It's totally screwing us up here. No, get rid of the line. It's completely confusing. The reader here. No, you can. All right, okay. Get rid of it. Okay. All right. Anything? Is everything else okay? Data file is, yeah, we need that. Okay, good. Right. Now it'll actually work properly. Okay, it'll give you the right answer. If you run it, well, maybe we'll run it with, really quickly 4 players. Okay, we'll get a good question and a good answer. Okay, I'll go first. All right, Anand. Right, so say ampersand. All right, good. All right, so all right, how about Ethan? Jan. All right, and then Matthias. All right, go ahead. All right, so my guess is going to be, how many grains of rice are there in 1 pound of rice? That's what I call a cool question, okay? You should have lots of questions like that, right? 1 pound of rice, how many grains? Okay, let me guess. All right, so I think that would be 100 would be that much, and let's say 6,000. I don't know. All right, I didn't have a chance to estimate properly. 6,000 grains of rice. Okay, go ahead. Ethan, how many grains of rice are there in 1 pound of rice?
10,000.
Jan.
8,000.
Now, this is something I'm curious to find the answer for, so I'm going to wait. Matthias.
How about 20,000.
20,000. Okay. All right. The player professor wins. Where the hell is professor? I thought you put my name there. Oh, the answer was 8.
That does not.
That
sound
is
right.
wrong. Yeah, the answer was wrong, wasn't it? It shouldn't be 0. Was it 8 or 0? I forget what the
It
answer
said
was.
8, but I don't think there are 8 grains of rice in 1 pound.
No, so something is wrong here. Okay. So anyway, see, it got the very last one. Okay, go to the code again. It should be easy to fix. Okay, go to the end. Go to the end. Yeah. Obviously, winning player. We need winning. No. Hang on. Where are you calculating the difference? Okay, difference answers of n. Oh, I see. You need answers of n, not answer. Answers of n. Answer square bracket n, not answer. No, at the on line 83. On line 83. On line 83. Yeah, again, see, we made, because we're coding in the last 2 minutes of class, we're running into all these silly errors. Okay, hopefully you won't run into silly errors when you're coding, either professionally or for quests. But this is a silly error. Okay, this will do it. Okay, so if you run it now, all right, say say me, all right, Matthias, Francis, and Lon. All right, let's see what my question is this time. How many gallons are there in a barrel of oil? See, good questions. Okay. How many gallons in a barrel of oil? Right. So that would be, maybe I can fit in about 10 of those. And then that's 10 of those. So let's say 100 gallons of barrel in one oil. 100 gallons of oil in one barrel.
I would say 50. I've heard there are like standard 50-gallon drums of oil.
Oh, is it? Okay, all right. We'll see.
30.
85.
Okay. One of the things that you could do is also put in a sleep after this, saying, hey, wait for a sec while I determine who the winner is. That'll add some more suspense to the game. Yes? All right. Who was the winner? Matthias wins. Answer was 42. All right, Matthias, did you say you've heard that it was around 40 or 50 or something like that?
40? Yeah.
Yeah, so you're probably right. Yeah, 42. So that is really cool. Actually, I was interested enough to play this game and to keep going to see what the answer was. That is really cool. Now, I was hoping that we'd also have time today to modify this game so that we'll be able to create game and then a pack, saying game and then a cricket pack, or a game and then a soccer pack, or a game and then astronomy pack. So you have different packs with different kinds of questions, and then you can choose which one you want to play. And then every week you can release one of them, right? It's going to be so simple. I think that if you guys want to do it, if you're interested, I can walk you through the code. This code taken to that next level with argc and argv, or maybe program that'll run on the command line on something like Unix or any of these terminals. Maybe another 1-hour lecture. Doesn't have to be next Tuesday. Anytime before next Tuesday, even on a weekend is fine. Just let me know. All right, and I will take we'll take this code, hack it more, turn it into a really cool game. And if anybody is interested, I can show you how to turn it into a JavaScript game or an iOS game or an iPhone game, or even do something along the lines of what Richard suggested. Turn that into a server with game IDs given out and all. It'll be really cool. We have all these opportunities, but remember that homework and questing are number one, so they take first priority. So if you're ahead with questing and you still want to learn more and try out these things, you should tell me, right? And we'll actually do. I don't care how many of the classes it takes. I will be more than happy to teach you all everything I know. I'm very happy to do that. Please take this to the next level. Try and hack it up. Now, what I want to do is actually go over every line of this code, which is what one of the goals was. When Josh said it would be helpful to other students if I go over every line of the code, make sure everybody understands this. I am fully aware that some students today may not be completely comfortable with this code yet. Okay. So there's two options. One is I can offer a special class anytime before the next actual class, that is Tuesday, anytime. Just pick 1 hour. Okay. Either I or if Josh or Caitlin want to do it, they can do it. Otherwise, I will do it. Okay. I will do that class just over Zoom, just like this. You will attend it. It'll either be on what is Thursday, right? It'll be either be Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. One of those 4 days. 1 hour class. You attend. You'll take this program, code it more, turn it into something else. Okay. And I will walk you through that code. It's going to be fun. And the end result of that will be something that you can actually turn into a game in any language you want, even on a mobile device. Okay. On a mobile device, imagine, right? If you have an app on the iPhone, some store, Android store. And then every week, anyone who buys the app, every week they get a new pack, right? Today, Mark released the astronomy pack, right? And you run the game, you get lots of questions about astronomy. And then, just like Fortnite, you can keep releasing this, seasons or packs. And rather than just be a total pure entertainment, like it just drains your time, and at the end, you don't know where the hell it went, you lost time. This would not only just be a entertainment, but also have something interesting in there that will kind of give you some, things to think about and all, right? Estimate. So that'll be fun. Okay. I'm more than happy to teach you, everything needed to build something like that. Look at that. This is like 60, 80 lines of code, and we got some really cool stuff already. We can take this to under 100 lines. You can still do a lot of frills to it. Okay. So I'm mindful of the fact that it is over time, and I'm very thankful to all of you guys, especially to Caitlin, who stuck around, and Josh for sticking around to help you guys. So that's absolutely fantastic. But I'm conscious that you may not have time to walk through the code. If you want to, I'm happy to walk you through the code. If not, you should just confer amongst yourself and say, hey, do you guys want a class on Thursday, Friday or Saturday? Let's get together and I'll do a Zoom just like this. Okay. And we'll take this code and take that to the next level, or take this code and go over it line by line. Okay. Let's say for the next class, the special class, we will not do anything more to this code, but go through this code line by line until everybody in that special class understands everything about this code. Is that a good idea? Give me a thumbs up if you think that's a good idea. Okay. All right. So here is your to-do item. Okay. All of you guys, confer amongst yourself, maybe in the Reddit or whatever it is. Decide on a day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, one of those days, 1 hour class. Okay. I'll give you a Zoom link. You'll have to attend, and I will explain every single word of this code so that everybody's comfortable. If you're unsure about this, all you have to do is get together and let me know when that time is. Is that okay? Is there someone who can coordinate this? Maybe Aura raised his thumb, first. Maybe you can coordinate this. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So you guys coordinate this and let me know. I'm more than happy to give you an extra class. Obviously, you can also reach out to Josh. Okay. If you feel that, he's got a certain manner of explaining things which kind of relates more, because that explanation he gave today about bits and true and false, perfect on the dot, right? So if you think that kind of thing actually is nice, you should also ask Josh. Okay, he's here, so he will be happy to help. Caitlin will also be happy to help. She's helping out a lot on the Reddit, I noticed, but I'm pretty sure she'll also be able to help if you DM her. Okay, so everybody's out here to just help you succeed, and people who are not attending class, they're just losing out. Okay, this is to pass the message along. They've paid the money and they've invested, some amount of time. They're losing out big time. Okay, this is like hugely valuable stuff. This kind of, ability to think in a certain way and get to the, exactly what you're after. It is extremely valuable, not just in programming. And you'll be able to use it, even if you're going to leverage a resource, an infinite resource like AI or something like that. Okay, it helps to have that kind of thinking in order to be able to be an efficient user of, well, maybe you'll have an AI layer that takes care of that too. But I'm pretty sure that knowing exactly how to get there will serve you very well in the long run. Okay, so that is my 2 cents. So I hope this was useful to you. Okay, if this was play this game more times, please do share. Ian, when you share this, also share a paragraph or so about what this game does and so on, or at least what your understanding is. And other people can also clarify and say, this is what it does, or produce versions of this code. I'm looking forward to seeing, versions of this code, or, so I've taken to the next level, or, some variation of that new pack and all these things. Really, really cool. Please do it. Okay. Please do it. Again, like I said before, like, you can do all that extra credit stuff. You may not get credit for it until such time as you're actually ahead on Quest. So maybe you're behind on Quest, but you can still do some extra credit work as long as you're confident you'll catch up with the Quest. Because the moment you catch up with the Quest and you have a 2-day buffer, then you can say, hey, can I get extra credit for all that stuff that I did before? You'll get extra credit for all the stuff you did before. Is that okay? So anytime you're ahead on Quest by a few days, you can ask for extra credit consideration. Okay. All right. So just go ahead and do all this. You don't have to wait for a window in order to work on these cool things. But at the same time, don't let go of this thing. And by the way, in the week after next, there is the RSLS conference. Hopefully you'll all be there. I'll be facilitating hopefully a non-STEM track. So I won't see any of your presentations if you're doing a STEM presentations. But I will be able to see the videos at the very least, okay? But I will be in the non-STEM related research presentations, hopefully. We'll see how it works, okay? But hopefully I will see a bunch of you in the video recordings at least. Okay? And some of our students are presenting, okay? Please do go to the symposium, cheer them on, and have a good time there too. Was this class useful at all? Was this a fun, or I don't know if it was fun, right? Francis said, okay. All right, so give me a thumbs up or something if you felt this was useful and you're going to come back on Tuesday. Why is the class size is reducing every single day? It's just reducing little by little. It's not an encouraging sign, but I hope that Jesus, thank you for your thumbs up. I'd like all of you to just feel more and more enmeshed in the class and engaged, because this is really useful shit. Okay, it can serve you very well in the future, in a way that many other things can. Concentrated usefulness. Okay, so please take advantage of that rather than saying, well, it's just a waypoint, I'll pick it up elsewhere. Then it never arrives. Just take advantage of that now. All right, thank you all very much for your time and patience with me. I will see you on Tuesday. Okay, and in the meantime, I'm going to read a lot of stuff on the Reddit. This game, a summary of the game by Ian, and also your versions of these games. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you, Ian. Thank you so much for volunteering to type. Brandon, thank you for coordinating the first part of the game and all. Where's Brandon? Is he still here?
I'm still here.
Where is he?
Oh, hello.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Thank you all. Thank you all. Okay. All right. I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Bye.